and welcome back to The Pin Man. I'm Mike West, and today our special guest is the Pilot Petit, the Pilot Petit 1. I don't know why they call it the Pilot Petit 1, but that's what they call it. And this certainly is a petite pen. This is a small pen, and it would be a good pen for just carrying around in your pocket. That's generally what they make these little short guys for, much like the Coico Sports fountain pens. But this is a cool little pen, and I just wanted to get it to see what it was like, and really how much of a difference in the hand it would be. So maybe you're looking for an inexpensive fountain pen that you could just kind of knock around with, and so this would be a good option. Okay, we are going to transition to, I'll show you some a variety of colors of this pen, take a pen tour, as well as size comparisons. That'll be interesting, and then a writing sample. Okay, please don't forget to boom. And I'll see you on the other side. And now for a tour of the Pilot Petite. And I mean, this thing is petite. The Petite 1. I keep forgetting to throw that 1 in there, but here it is. I mean, this thing is small. Okay, now I have my hands are on the smaller size. They're kind of stubby, but they're not real long fingers and so forth. But anyway, so yeah, this is, even for me, this is a short pen. Alrighty. Let's take a closer look at this Pilot Petite 1. We'll just kind of spin it around there so you can see the clip and all of that looks. I left the label on just so you can see, it's there, but you get the idea. All right, the clip doesn't really sit real flush with the body there. You can see I can still push it down, but it's got that little it's got that little nub in there that will help this thing to hold, but it's not a real heavy pen, so I don't anticipate it really falling out. But it might. So I wouldn't trust it a lot. And could this thing bust? Yeah, probably if pushed too hard or pulled too hard. All right. It is a snap cap, so medium. It's not a hard cap. And then here you have it in your hand. Again, this is a small pen for me. Now I could write with this, I think. It still gets up on my knuckle there plenty fine. So if you have small hands, you could probably write unposted, but most people, I think, are going to post this, and it does kind of snap there a little bit. And so it would be more comfortable to write with it posted. The grip section there, as you see, it says Petite 1 Pilot underneath. The grip section is a nice size grip. And that is, if you're going to be doing a small or a light pen, you better have a nice size grip. So I think this is around a 10.5 millimeter grip there. And then it's got a nib, much like the Pilot Varsity, but also like the Platinum Preppy, very, very similar there. So it's nice. Okay, now screw it. To my knowledge, there's no converters that will go in there, but probably you wouldn't want that anyway. Now this cartridge that comes with it, I kept this. It comes with this little cap too. So all you do is you pull the cap off, and I'll show you another picture here in a minute. You just pull the cap off of the cartridge, and then you slip the cartridge in. In fact, okay, so you can see the cartridge. It would be not just proprietary of Pilot, but proprietary of the Petite. So you take that little yellow cap, you pull it off, and then there's a little guide in the body of the pen to get it going. But here's what's interesting. As soon as I put this ink cartridge in, even horizontally, I put it in obviously horizontally, and then I could see the ink starting to flow. Sometimes with cartridges, a lot of times, you have to put it in and then let it set vertically for a half hour or so and let the ink flow down. Oh man, this stuff flowed down nicely. In fact, this feed, the feed here, you can see from there, it's all clear. It's kind of a clear. It's not just shiny, that's actually clear. And so the nib area there underneath was, just the stainless steel looking and with that little clear feed. But boy, once the ink started getting there, yeah, it took on this darker tone. So that the ink flowed fast. I didn't have to wait at all. I was able to pretty much write with this thing right away, and which is one of the reasons why I don't like cartridges, because I don't like going through that process of waiting and kind of messing with it, try to get the ink going. Converters, you're for the most part, you're sticking it in a bottle, so the feed is getting saturated right away. But anyway, so this, I was really impressed with how this worked. Okay, so you just twist that back on, and there's your cap. Twist that back on anyway, and then again you clip. Okay, since everybody wants to know. Okay, there's we'll get a little closer look there. There's some facets right there that, as I mentioned in one of the other, I think it was the Preppy. Preppy kind of has some of these too. Inside the pen, they're not on the outside, so you don't feel them when you're writing. But inside, there's these little facets, and I think that's kind of neat. When you get an inexpensive pen, and you get those little facets. And then there's some little nubs here, and what those are for is so when you post, remember when I posted the pen, it kind of gave a little click. Well, it's posted when you feel it click on there. Okay, so we'll move around here, and then there's your body finial, and then spin it around, and then there's your cap finial. Okay. This kind of looks like it's square there, but it's round. And then inside, there's no, I'm going to turn around this way. There's no spring action to this, but I don't know if you should be able to see that See that little cap there? I'm pointing with the tip of my nib. Anyway, there's a little cap inside there, and so that'll help seal your nib. And this, when it's the cap is put on there, it goes flush with that seal. So it will be nice and shouldn't run dry. Should be nice and sealed. Okay. All right, so there's your tour of the Pilot Petit 1. And now we have a size comparison of the Pilot Petit 1 with the Kaweco Skyline Sport, the Pilot Metropolitan, and the TWSBI Eco. As you can see, there is quite the difference, although with the Kaweco Sport, the Pilot Petit is very similar. I'll say this with regard to the Sport and the Petite as well, while they are, when they're a cap, they're very similar in length, and I'll show you that, show you what happens when we post them here in a minute. But you can obviously see that unposted, the Kaweco Sport has a noticeably longer barrel than the Petite. So I use the Sport without posting a lot of times, unless I know I'm gonna just keep writing. I'm not gonna be stopping much, but for the most part, I can use it, the Sport unposted. But this Petite, boy, it would be hard to use unposted, but I could do it. And here they are posted. Again, the Sport and the Petite posted are about the same length, so you wouldn't notice a difference there. But obviously, it's different than the others, especially the. I'll probably move that back even a little more. The Eco there. I guess if you like a pocket pen, and again, the nice thing about the Petite is it does take a cartridge, so you can refill that. But the Sport's going to run you around in the high 20s, probably, maybe low 30s, depending. But then the Petite is under $5. So if you want an even cheaper version option for a pocket pen, the Petite would be a good choice. And you can always, if you didn't like the particular color of the ink, obviously you can flush out the ink that's in the cartridge, put your own ink in, and that's fine. And now the writing sample of the Pilot Petit 1. I'm going to go ahead and write with this one posted. I normally don't, but I will do it this time. So we have the and it is a fine nib. I had to look a little closer there, kind of forgot for a moment. And the blue is, I thought it was a blue ink. So it's some kind of Pilot blue, black, maybe. Flow. There. Smooth enough nib. It's not great, but it's not bad. Line variation. No, you don't want to go there. All right. Let's see. Writing increases brain power. It's a decent writing experience. It's not super smooth, but remember this is a fine nib. So I hate to criticize the writing experience of a fine nib because fine nibs, and this is a Japanese fine nib, but I don't know, I wouldn't say it's any finer than a regular fine that I'm used to. You know, so fine nibs, you're gonna expect some little bit of scratchiness to that. So let me try this just with a light, you know, light writing pressure, and that's why we do fountain pens anyway, right? So it's nothing bad at all. I'm good with this nib. Okay. About reverse writing, got the clip on there, but whatever. Does a good job there. Okay, how do I feel about this pen? Yeah, I'll give it a smiley face. For an under $5 pen, something that you can carry around in your purse, your pocket, what have you, I think this is a good option. I like this little pen. Inexpensive, useful, has a little bit of style to it. It's a uniqueness to it. So it'd be a cool pen to pull out and show your friends or write with it and let them notice, okay? All right, so there's your writing sample for the Pilot Petit 1. Hey, I want to thank you for taking time in your busy day to tune in to the Pen Man and to check out this review. And I encourage you to leave comments below that might not only help me to do a better job in reviewing pens and pen-related projects, but especially to help other viewers to know more about these products, because maybe you have bought the pen based on my review or some others' reviews, and you have your own 2 cents to throw in there. Hey, we're all just trying to help each other out. So, thanks again, and again, be sure to all right, and check out a couple of these other videos that might be of interest to you. I hope so. All right, thank you and have a great day.